Things to be wary of when you start improving your lifestyle? Oh, what? You're going to feel better? What do you have to be careful about if you start eating fruits and vegetables? Your digestion's going to be good. You're going to go down to your goal weight. You're going to have energy. You're going to think clearly. You're going to feel good. You're going to smile. You're going to stand tall. You're going to live long. I don't really think there's much to worry about. Healthful living has no contraindications. And eating our biologically determined species-specific diet, how could we say something to watch out for? I'd say, no, this is totally twisted around. People who aren't eating well need to worry about their health. People who are taking good care of themselves really don't need to worry at all. About a few things where people tend to bump into typical problems. And the typical problems that people have is, one, because they have no idea how much volume of food is required, they typically don't eat enough when they're first learning to do 80-10-10. I mean, if you're dramatically under-eating, you can't expect to have a whole lot of energy. You're not going to hold your weight. You may not sleep well, because typically poor sleep is associated with not eating enough food. Your body just says, go look for food, and it's more important than eating. So I think one of the first things that comes is learning to eat enough food to either hold your weight or to obtain the weight that you're hoping to get to. And most people just have to take some practice, and after a short while essentially learn to eat, because normally when we eat an entire meal that doesn't satiate us. This is how we've been trained. Every restaurant, every family meal, they're all designed to be a meal that does not satiate us. And then we satiate ourselves by eating something sweet at the end of the meal. We typically call it dessert. And that signifies that the meal has come to an end. Well, if you start with fruit and you raise blood sugar even a little bit by eating some fruit, and you get that same trigger in your head that, okay, I've had enough, I feel satiated, it can be a little challenging for people to learn that that's not enough sugar to get them all the way through to the next meal. You've got to get in hundreds of calories of fruit, with the average piece of fruit only containing a small piece of fruit, 25 calories, a really rich fruit like a banana, near 100 calories, and it's going to take a while to get in those 600 or 800 calories that the average person needs to eat at a meal. And so under-eating becomes number one, the first issue. A lot of people haven't yet learned how to control fruit quality, or how to ripen fruit in time, so they're not always allowing their fruit to fully ripen when they eat it, or they don't know how to keep enough food in the house so that there's fresh fruit available. If there's not ripe fruit available, you're going to eat other stuff. I mean, we all want to eat, and if your quality isn't there, if the food isn't there, you're going to become less discriminating in your choices about what you eat, the hungrier you get. And so making sure that you have it available, getting good sources, this is a big issue that people actually do need to and get to learn a bit about fruits and vegetables in order to succeed on 80-10-10. Eating variety is not necessary at every meal. It's not necessary at every day. We don't need to eat thousands of different things. This has been proven to us by people on a standard American diet who eat cereal and milk for breakfast, and a hamburger for lunch, and typically only 4 or 5 choices for dinner. We don't need to eat massive varieties of foods, but eating variety throughout the course of the year definitely ensures better nutritional sufficiency than if you just try to live off of one thing. I think a lot of people don't succeed on 80-10-10 because they blame their other lifestyle shortcomings on the diet. And so if they didn't get enough sleep, and over and over and over you don't get enough sleep, you can't expect to thrive. If you're not physically active, you can't really expect to thrive. Health is a cumulative effect, and it's built by all of its parameters, and your health is going to be as good as the weakest link. So if you're not an active person physically, or you don't get enough sleep, or you never set foot outdoors, or you're not giving yourself lots of positive reinforcement and developing who you are as a person, and bettering yourself in your communication skills and your social graces, you're only going to be as good as your weakest link, and you can blame whatever you want at that point. You can blame 80-10-10 if you don't succeed, but typically the people who don't have success with 80-10-10 are the people who actually just didn't apply it well. And so I would say that the things to watch out for really is first, eating enough. Second of all, getting good quality fruit. Realize that eating organic food is just as important as eating raw food, and that if you just start pounding down the pesticides and herbicides and fungicides and insecticides, you're really not doing yourself a favor. You're better off to eat organic food. There's nobody suggesting that pesticides are good for you. And at the same time, though, understand when you're eating meats, you're eating 40 to 80 times as much of the same pesticides. These are concentrated in animal fat.